Morning, it's day 3, September 12th, Monday, 7 a.m. Just getting a cup of coffee started, and then we'll start unpacking the tent and breaking camp down. Hopefully the view outside will be more of a sunny sky. We'll see in a little bit. Oh, the other thing is that it felt a little chilly in the tent this morning. So I just checked the temperature on the Garmin inside the tent. It is a cool 36 degrees. So it definitely cooled down overnight, which is nice. So it's day 3. We're just out of the tent. We're filtering our water in a much nicer location than yesterday. The sun is out behind my head. Man, Bobby, I think you really would have loved this spot. Sorry you couldn't make it, but there's always next time, and I'll definitely mark this place and bring you back to it. I've never camped here before. It's just amazing. So gonna let the tent stay up for a little bit, let the sun dry it out. There's still plenty of frost on the grass. It did get close to freezing. Well, it was close to freezing in the tent. Maybe it got to freezing outside of the tent. So we're gonna do some camp chores, get things packed up, and probably be heading out. We're not like in any real rush, heading out in the next hour or so. Maybe make another cup of coffee. Just kind of take it nice and slow and enjoy what's around us. It's going to be a lot more crowded at Guitar Lake than it is here. So it's getting close to 8 in the morning. This is just such a beautiful spot here. I am in no rush to leave. I'm going to really take my time packing up camp today. Let the tent really dry out. I'm making a second cup of coffee. Normally I would already be like getting the backpack packed up and getting ready to head out. Instead, we're going to just take a nice leisurely morning to get to Guitar Lake. Man, the views, the video really doesn't do it justice, but it's awesome. I even remember to bring a little notepad, sketchbook, and a pen. I like doing little outlines of the mountain range. I'm no artist by any means, but just little sketches. So I think I'm even gonna try my hand at that this morning with a little coffee and just enjoy this awesome spot. So I'm doing a little sketch of the mountain range, and 2 deer just showed up on the other side of the creek. They're by the big boulder right there. I'm zoomed in as far as I can be, but you should be able to see them on the video. They're just doing a little grazing, 2 of them. They may not have noticed me, I'm not sure. I'm pretty far away though. A few hundred feet, I'd say, so. That's the thing about just sitting still somewhere and being quiet. You never know what's going to turn up out here. Super cool. Oh, maybe they hear me now, I'm not sure, but there they are, under the mountain range, just grazing. I even thought about camping over there actually, but with the rainy skies, I just wanted to get the tent set up yesterday. Otherwise, I may have actually been over there a little closer to them. right, day 3. We've been hiking for a while, lost a bunch of elevation. We're at the Wallace Creek campground. There's a bear box here. Perhaps on our way back from Whitney, if we go off trail and head that way, in about 3 miles or so, we hit Wallace Lake, which leads to Tuliano Lake, which leads to Mount Russell. So that's definitely one of our options. Once we're done with Whitney, I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do. And it's just a sign on the bear bin I'm just reading. Nothing about bears, just more about fires. Nothing about above 10,000 feet. I mean, after the last couple of years, who really is having a fire out here? So yeah, now it looks like we're gonna start climbing again. Head into Crabtree Meadow, Ranger Station, etc. About 4-5 miles. So we're gonna hike for a little more and then we'll stop, hopefully somewhere with a nice view, and have some breakfast.
Good morning. It's Monday, September 12th, and I checked out of my hotel in Bishop this morning and I'm making my way up to Yosemite. But we had such a yummy breakfast in Mammoth Lakes at the Warming Hut. I had to come back, so I got the Pancake Mountain again. Can't wait to dig in. I can see as I was driving up on the highway that it's definitely going to be smoky in Yosemite, which is unexpected because there's some forest fires around there. Just hoping it's not too bad. So I'll be in Yosemite for the next 3 nights, and then I head over to Lake Tahoe area for the rest of my solo adventure. So I'll make some stops along the way, as once I get my breakfast, I'm going to do my grocery shopping here, fill up the car with gas before heading into the park. So I'm all set for the next 3 days, but I'll check in later.
So we've been climbing up the PCT JMT off the other side of Wallace Creek, heading towards Guitar Lake, but we're getting a great view, a different perspective of the mountains. I was pointing out from Bighorn Plateau, basically in the Milestone Basin. So this guy here, I think it's Midway, Milestone, and then the long one is Table. That one, it looks like a long rectangular table. It's either Midway Milestone Table or Milestone Midway Table. I have to look at the topo, I forget now. But yeah, really cool alternate angle of those guys. So we've just been climbing, taking a little pack break. We're going to keep on heading that way. So we're on the PCT JMT heading to Crabtree Meadow area, and just randomly on a tree, looks like it's an old NPS survey from 1952. Obviously some other people have seen it and scribbled in their own musings, but pretty cool. And here we are, just in the middle of the forest, where the trees here always have a different shade of brown. The greens are greener, the browns are browner. And it's just amazing to see all the trees that have evidence of fire damage, but still are alive and continue to grow, even after who knows how many forest fires. Not every tree makes it, but a lot of them do. And then there's always younger ones regrowing. It's just pretty cool to see. Day 3 update. We're at about 10,500, 10,600 feet. The trail's going through an area called Sandy Meadow. And this is the meadow on the right side. The mountain range is just kind of not coming into focus, but wide open meadow, pretty cool. Day 3 update, getting close to 11 in the morning. Finally had a little breakfast. Really wasn't that hungry initially and was feeling pretty good. So just kept going. But we're getting ready for another climb. So this was a good spot to take a pack break and have a little energy. And we're gonna keep heading to Crabtree Meadows, getting closer. that's where we're headed. Let's get it.
Good morning. It's about 11:30 and I just drove through the entrance on Tioga Road into Yosemite. And as you can see from behind me, that's not just the sun playing tricks. That's how hazy it is up here. So we'll see how this visit goes and how many views I get. But usually in the afternoon, the smoke tends to blow out. You can see, if you can see my hair, it is kind of windy. So hopefully some of this smoke will blow out and we can get some views. But so far it's been a good drive up. I didn't have to wait too long at the entrance to get through. So this should be a great trip.
Day 3 update. Almost noon. Past Crabtree Ranger Station a while ago and heading up to JMT to the southern terminus, and we're getting our nice full view Mount Whitney right in front of us. Hello, Mount Whitney. Good to see you. So that's our goal for tomorrow, and we're got about 2 miles or so to make it to Guitar Lake. So we still have some more climbing to do, but it's not too bad. Ups and downs kind of stuff. And we're paralleling Whitney Creek over here, so you can hear the creek flowing, draining from the lake. So we're pretty much heading upstream and coming for you, Whitney. Coming for you.
So it's about 10 minutes past 12 and I am stuck in construction traffic. I'm stopped on Tioga Road, and I knew that there was a possibility of this happening, so I made sure my knitting was handy. But I just see cars coming this way, so hopefully we'll move soon. I've been stopped probably for about 15 minutes, so not terrible. But one step closer. I think I'm going to stop at the Tuolumne Grove of giant sequoias on my way to the campsite to stretch my legs. So I'll show you those giant trees when I get there.
All right, we made it to Timberline Lake. No camping allowed here, but it's a beautiful area, and that just means we're getting closer to Guitar Lake, so we will take that as a plus. All right, so we're taking a little pack break at Timberline Lake, getting ready for the final push. You can see Whitney right there in front of us, getting closer, and maybe you can see the little shelf here. So basically there's going to be a bowl in between, and that's where the lake will be that we're headed to. So we got to climb up that to get into that bowl and get to our lake. And here is Timberline Lake. It's not a huge lake, but it's very pretty. So that's where we're at. And the skies, I mean, I guess we're going to get maybe a passing afternoon shower once again. There's little patches of blue. I don't think it's going to be any sustained rain, but we're probably going to get, same as yesterday, maybe 10-15 minutes of steady rain at some point. That's what it feels like. So take a quick break here, let the shoulders and back get a little rest, and then keep on heading up. Day 3 update. We're somewhere over 11,000 feet. That's the way we came from, all the way down there. And we're getting close to seeing Guitar Lake. It's going to be up over this next slip. And then we'll start looking for a campsite. Still Gray clouds, feels like it might rain. Hopefully it won't be a long rain, but it'd be nice to get the tent set up before it starts. What's up, guys? Well, we've gotten off the JMT. We're on the shelf above Guitar Lake. You can see down there, and we're just looking around for a good spot. I have GPX track from 2018 when I was last here where I camped, so I'm gonna go check that spot out. And the only hassle will be getting water, but once I have water, I am set. So I don't want to be right down by the shoreline. That's where everyone goes, and it just gets crowded and noisy. So I want to kind of have some elevation. And I think I might have a spot right here. It's a bit exposed, but I don't care. I think we'll be all right. I think I'm gonna go for it, right? Why the heck not? And just have this amazing view right behind me and really all over in every direction. So I think I'm gonna put the pack down here. I might do a tiny bit more scouting just to my spot from 4 years ago. Check in on it and then make a final decision. But we're here. Whew, a lot of climbing to get here. All right, so this is the spot I stayed at 4 years ago. It's a little lower. I'm a little higher up. Still a nice view of the lake. I guess it's a little more sheltered here if the wind is whipping from this way. But I'm not super concerned about that. And that's a nice spot up there. I think I'm gonna go for it. Honestly, I'm gonna walk around a little bit. Remember when I first came in here before, there was a tent that was even higher than I am now. And it just looked like a sweet spot. But again, the issue is water, right? Getting water, especially if I'm gonna be here 2 nights. I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal. What is it? It's whatever it is at the most. Few hundred football fields or whatever down there, 300-400 yards of climbing back up with all that water, but that's not a super big deal. You only got to do it. I got to do it today and I got to do it tomorrow, but that's it. So it's gonna, before I see, we kind of been walking up and you can see where my backpack is over there on the rock. That's where I'm thinking of setting up camp, but I just want to take another look around up here before I make my final decision, right? If I'm going to be here for a couple nights, like it would be nice to be able to put the tent behind a couple of these big boulders just for a little protection. If it gets super windy, it's not supposed to, but weather can be a little crazy in these bowls. You never know what's going to happen. And I'll definitely have heavy gear in the tent when I go on my day hike to Whitney, and I'll have it staked down really well just in case. But just want to take a little look around and just make sure that's the spot I want. It's a sweet spot, there's no doubt about it, and the views of the lake are amazing. Just because we're going to be here for 2 nights and it's relatively early, why not do a little exploring, right? And make sure that's where we want to be, because we're not in any rush. We're gonna have downtime today for sure. So why not really check out the area up here? There is a little pond of water down there. I could use that water. I prefer to use the running streams feeding Guitar Lake or that are coming out of Guitar Lake. That's just nicer water, right? Here's a pretty big spot with a big boulder. I mean, you could definitely make this spot work, right? You'd have a little bit of shelter. You'd be on this rock, though. It might not be the most comfortable. Well, I mean, I just have to sleep on the side of the tent where the dirt was, but not exactly what I'm looking for. So, just gonna check out this shelf over here. I think like the folks, from what I remember years ago, were like back here. It just seemed like a really cool spot. I do want to have an overlook of Guitar Lake though. And oh, by the way, I did, you see this shelf? I did do some off-trail bushwhacking when I got down from Whitney 4 years ago and checked out Hitchcock Lakes, which are back there. There's no trail back there. That was fun as well. So I'm gonna sign off for now. I do want to get the tent set up just because it does feel like rain is gonna come, but I don't want to make sure I pick the best option for me, right? So check in a little bit. So I'm kind of at the outlet for the Guitar Lake that feeds all the way down to Timberline Lake, and lose a little bit of elevation down there. It looks like there's some flat spots. I'd be close to running water, which would be nice to have just the sound of running water at night, right? That might be where I'm inclined to go. Kind of really away from the trail, away from anyone camping at the lake. I'm kind of getting sold on that. A little less exposed if there is bad weather that comes in. Just wind I'm all really worried about. So yeah, I think I might do that. So pays to explore. Right in the middle of my shot where the poles are, you can see that impacted dirt area near the water, near flowing water. That is going to be home for the next 2 nights. All right, awesome.
Good afternoon. It's about 1:30 on Monday afternoon, and I'm just walking down to the Tuolumne Grove of the giant sequoias. So I'm not sure if there's going to be any still alive giant sequoias, or if there's just some that have died but are still there. I guess we'll see. So it's about a 2-mile hike down. It's on an old paved road, so it's pretty cruisy. But yeah, so just got a few steps in for today before I set up camp. Hopefully the thunderstorms hold off until I'm all set up, but we'll see. So I've made it down to the actual grove. I'm about a mile. I lost about a mile of elevation. And the sign said there's 25 of the giant sequoias left alive in this grove. So they're all protected and you can't get too close to them, but let's see. So right behind me, behind my hat, is one of them. So it's very tall and very wide. At first I was thinking like some of these other large trees that you'll see like just beside me, there's like some pretty tall wide trees, but they're definitely, the giant sequoias are massive around, like huge compared to these. So like some of these might take like 3 people to give it a big hug. Like the giant sequoias would take like 6 people to give it a big hug. So we'll see if I can get a better picture of some of them as we keep going on the loop. Coming up to a fallen giant sequoia. See, there's some people sitting on top, but I mean that thing's like huge. Definitely the circumference is way taller than me. So that's at the base of a giant sequoia. It just keeps going up, and there's one right next to it. You can see the tree next to this one. It's pretty mature, different species of pine tree, but it's much skinnier. So I'm currently on one of the loops down in the grove of sequoias, and I'm on the historic Big Oak Flat Road, which was built in the 1870s. And in 1876 or 78, there was this old burnt sequoia that, as a tourist attraction, they cut out a section of it so people could take their horse and carriage through it. So I'm gonna head through. So right here, I just wanted to quickly show you some forest fire damage that you can see. I don't know from when the fire was, but you can see the fire was there. There's a giant sequoia there and more trees and such over here. So, but on this tree, you can see some fire damage at the bottom. But sequoias need fire to keep growing. The pine cones don't open unless they're in fire. So that's kind of the way they've adapted to this area. But I've done the bottom loop, and now I'm gonna gain my 1,000 feet of elevation back up the old big oak flat road to the car. So we're just walking up the trail, and someone pointed out to me that there's a bear right here. You can't really see it very well, but he's there. I won't get as close as Brian does, but let's see if I can see our bear friend. Let me put my trekking poles down. So he's just right in there, but he's just digging for grubs. He doesn't care about us. So I didn't get too close to the bear. There were some other folks near me that were very nervous about the bear. But the bear was just doing bear things and digging for grubs. But a few more people came down the road that had heard about the bear. But thankfully the bear had scampered off, because I could definitely see people just walking too close to the bear. So the bear scampered off, and I'm gonna make my way up this road, up. I'll check in later.
Okay, so we got the tent set up. We've got Mount Whitney right there, Guitar Lake right behind us as well. We're gonna go get some water now. You can see these dark clouds over here. Feels like it might be blown in this way. And also, I have a gear malfunction, which is going to take some craftiness to fix. It's a important part of the Osprey. I'll show it to you guys and show you what I do to fix it. What I actually need is like a clip, a plastic clip snapped, and it supports the shoulder, one of the shoulder straps. I need to fix it, or I can't carry the pack. It's just a matter of how am I going to fix it. None of the options are great because they don't have a replacement part, which would be the ideal fix. So we're gonna have to come up with some other options. But before I do that, I want to get the water just in case we have to dive into the tent with these clouds coming. So first things first. Okay, so it's day 3. We're filtering water for tomorrow. And those clouds, those dark clouds are definitely headed this way. So glad I got the tent set up just in case we have to jump in. Hopefully it'll be a same situation like yesterday where we'll just have a passing storm for whatever half hour, and then we can hang out outside, because I really would like to hang out here. But if we have to jump in the tent, I'll try and I got to figure out how I'm gonna fix my shoulder strap, and I'll show you guys exactly what happened. It's the second time something like this has happened to me on a big trip, and it was not a pretty fix, but it worked, and that might be what I end up having to do on this one. Yeah, I don't know. And then I still have another backpack. Well, we'll worry about that later. First, we gotta fix it for this trip, and then we'll worry about the next trip in Colorado. Man, well, something always comes up, right? So you just gotta roll with it and figure it out. So that's what we're gonna do. some backpacking ingenuity. Okay, so before we tackle our backpack repair, we're gonna make a little decaf coffee, because why not? And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the backpack. The clouds, maybe they're not gonna come this way. I mean, I'm ready to hop in the tent if I need to. The temperature definitely feels like it's dropped a little bit. So we'll make some coffee. The one interesting thing about this site is there's all this dirt and gravel, but it's only like a cup, I'd say it's probably 4 inches of dirt and rock, and then there must be a solid slate of rock underneath. So the tent stakes really didn't work. So instead I'm doing the old rock trick that I first saw in amazement from my wife Sarah. Thanks, Sarah, it really came in handy here. But also, like, I'll usually use my Crazy Creek when I'm like kneeling to get in or out of the tent, or it just saves some dirt and wear and tear on the knees. But when I did that initially to set the tent up, the bottom of the Crazy Creek got soaked because of all the rain. It's a very like wet little area right now. It hasn't drained completely. So I just have some flat rocks here now that I can put things on, including my Crazy Creek, so things stay dry. Because not bringing wet stuff into the tent is the goal, always, if possible. So that is where we're at. It's a gorgeous Monday afternoon. I mean, the views I have from the tent are just amazing, and I like to stay outside and enjoy them as long as possible. Got a really good night's sleep last night, probably slept 11 hours. So I'm in no rush to get an early bedtime tonight. However, I do want to get up early tomorrow and hit Whitney early, just so that if I feel like when I come back down, I want to break down camp and kind of get closer to Wallace Creek. I may do that, because the elevation gain and loss isn't too bad, but it's going to depend on what Whitney's like tomorrow and how I feel when I get back down. I'm also perfectly fine just hanging out here tomorrow afternoon. But just for all the places I want to go, and I lost a day, I want to like take advantage of the full time out here, because you never know if there's going to be issues next year with fires or whatever, or the next COVID. So I definitely want to, I can't believe it's been 4 years since I've been out here. So I definitely want to make the most of it while I'm here without killing myself. That's the fine line, right? When you have these big trips, and it's just me, so the only one holding me back is me. But I certainly don't want to like gas myself, especially it's day 3. So that's where we're at. I keep saying I'm going to show you what happened in my backpack, and I promise it's coming up. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'll show you from Guitar Lake, Mount Whitney, what happened to my Osprey backpack. So this is the one shoulder strap. This is how it's supposed to look. It goes through this plastic buckle, and you can adjust the tension. Now sadly, on the other side, the plastic buckle snapped right there. I still have the little plastic piece, but there's no saving it. It's snapped right off. So now I have to figure out a way to make this work without having a replacement, one of these plastic ones to use. So I'm going to look around the whole pack and see if there is actually something, a belt that I don't necessarily need, a buckle. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to have to tie something in there and just make the best of it, which is what I ended up doing last time this issue came up. But I have a little more time to play with it today, so we're going to see what we can do.
So it's just after 3 o'clock, and I'm on my way to Yosemite Valley, and I just pulled over to a lookout point so you can see Half Dome behind me and Yosemite Valley, and it's looking pretty hazy and smoky, but from here it's not bad, and my hike wasn't bad. So let's go check into the campsite and get set up for the night, or for the next few days.
Okay, so one option is I have this smaller carabiner that I always have like a little extra gear attached for stuff like this that happens. I can attach that and then just tie it off. It's not adjustable, but it'll work. So that's option number one, unless I can come up with something better. This is probably what I'm gonna go with. Okay, so I think I have a repair that'll get me through. I actually had a better carabiner, so I'm gonna use that one instead. But the key is figuring out how much length did I have on this one. So I just kind of used my trowel, and it's pretty much a trowel length and a thumb. And I just adjusted this and made the knot so it's pretty close to a trowel length and a thumb over here. It's not perfect, but you know, it's the best I can do out here. And just gonna have to hope that this doesn't dig into me too much. But that's the way it goes. Just gonna probably make for an interesting bruise on my chest area, but it'll let me use the pack. The good thing is tomorrow I'm not bringing a full pack, just going up to Whitney, so it'll be a good like test run without having full weight in there, and that'll give me another day to eat some food and lose some more weight, so the pack will be just that much lighter and put less strain on that repair system I got set up. So that is that. In other news, I'm going to turn this video around. There's still super dark storm clouds on that range there. It's looked pretty nasty over there for the past hour and a half, but thankfully, so far, none of that nastiness is blowing in this way. Whitney has kind of been in and out of light cloud cover, but nothing too terrible. But yeah, over there, it has not looked pretty for a while. I'm actually going to pull out my Peak Finder app and see what range is over there and what's getting hammered right now. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's the Kaweah range. There's Mount Kaweah, there's a red Kaweah, there's all sorts of Kaweahs, mountains, and they have been in really nasty clouds for a while. The wind has picked up here a little bit, but I'm gonna probably need another layer, or I'm just gonna hop in the tent. But glad we were able to get that field repair done on the backpack, and I probably have that belt buckle in the basement. We'll see, maybe I can get the replacement part mailed out to me from Becca or Bobby, or I can find one in a store somewhere and maybe fix it here before Colorado. We'll see, one thing at a time. As long as it works for here, that's all that matters now. There's no worse feeling than having a pretty heavy pack, and then you hear that snap and your pack just starts falling off. It's not good. At least it was at the end of the day. So there's that. So I really had time to work with it. That's it for right now. Time for some cheese and pepperoni and some more decaf to warm me up.
I got all checked in at the Upper Pines campsite in Yosemite Valley, and because there was a threat of thunderstorms, I wanted to get the tent up quickly, so that's up. The campsite's quite large. I'm at like site 130, and there's over 200 sites, maybe 300 sites at this one campground alone. There's 2 others in the valley as well. So I'm just going to kind of keep getting camp set up, unload the car because everything needs to go in the bear bin, all the food. But yeah, so things are good. I might take a walk around the valley to kind of get the lay of the land, stretch my legs, and then get settled in for the night. I did bring a Subway, but we'll see if on my travels I find anything else to eat. But I have that in case I don't find anything else. Okay. I'm definitely spoiled because I just realized that I'm gonna have to blow this up for the first time this whole summer, this trip, because we've been using a little like gadget that Brian got. So here we go. My lungs are gonna get a workout.
What's up, guys? So it's about 5 o'clock, day 3. Definitely more clouds coming in. It's definitely gotten colder. Wind's picked up a little bit. and we are definitely getting the fog, the soup rolling in. That's just going to make temperatures drop even more. So I'm definitely layered up right now. For the first time, I've had to put on some dry camp socks. That's how cold and a little nasty it is right now. So we're just gonna stay in a tent, but we've got a nice view, although the view is disappearing. Really doesn't feel like a cold beer tonight either. For a while there it did with the sun out, and now I'm just not feeling it. I want another warm beverage. So maybe a hot chocolate. Oh boy, that's a treat. I think hot chocolate it is. So we're gonna just hang out here, keep charging everything up, and maybe we'll check in a little bit later.
So I was gonna go on a little walk to the main part of Yosemite Valley near the visitor center where the grocery store is, and there's some food options over there, but you can't really tell, but I don't think those clouds are like smoke. I think they're like green clouds. So I figure I'm gonna cruise back through Curry Village, which is closer to the campsite, see what food options are there, and then go back to the hotel, to the tent, and hunker down for the night.
It's day 3. It's getting close to 6. The rain that has been threatening for hours has finally arrived. It's not coming down too hard right now, but it's here. So I'm glad we're in a nice dry tent. Gonna have a little dinner soon, still charging up all the electronics, and set an alarm for 6 in the morning. So hopefully I'll be on the trail 7:30 at the latest, to go get Whitney, and hopefully under clear skies. I know it'll probably be cold starting out, but hopefully no rain.
Good evening. It's about 6:30 and I just had my dinner. I just ended up having cheese, crackers, veggies, and hummus and some chips. So I'll eat my Subway for lunch tomorrow. I'm in the tent. I'm going to stretch a little, and then I'll watch some shows. There's a gentleman next to me. He's playing guitar or ukulele, so that's kind of fun. Everyone's pretty quiet around here. But I have so much room in the tent without Brian. It's like a palace. I can like totally sit up on the other side of the tent, and I also don't have my backpack in here and all of that. So, but yeah, I'm ready for bed. I'm thinking it should get dark around 8, so that'll be perfect, and I'll just go to bed, have a good night's sleep, and then my plan is to do a harder hike tomorrow, so something maybe like 5-6 miles. I have a few that I'm looking at from the valley, and then do something more easy on Wednesday, or just kind of walk the valley floor. So that's the plan as of now. It could always change depending on the weather and all of that, but I'll keep you posted. But that's probably it from tonight. So I think Brian had a shorter day today. I got his text that he had set up camp around 2:30. So hopefully he's all dried out from the rain a couple days ago. And he's probably off to do Whitney or one of the other ones. I haven't actually like zoomed in to see exactly where he is, but I'll do that tomorrow once I go back into Curry Village and have Wi-Fi and better service. I have like 1 bar, sometimes 2 bars, just enough to get a text out from the campsite itself. But yeah, so have a good night.